Give us one moment. We'll get started in just a moment. Right. Okay, I think we are all set. So my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is July 29th, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few things this week and talk about some of the last things on deck for this week. Um, been a pretty volatile week. We've seen a lot of opportunity both in the intraday time frame and on sort of a larger scale time frame. We'll go ahead and put one to sort of rest for now, and that has been the sort of capitulation low inside of the China based index products, along with some of the stocks putting in a lot of those capitulation lows. Um, reviewing the after effect of what this looks like and how to take advantage of it in the future, we saw these massive gap downs in some of these products, the GXC being the ETF that I'm using, and the eventual bottoming on high volume, along with the response of that, which oftentimes can be a combination of additional demand, buying, and sort of discount hunting in the market, along with shorts eventually recognizing that the market does not wish to go lower and they begin to cover out. So this sort of imbalance in the market leads to aggressive bounces. And as traders, this is what we live for. We're looking for low risk, high reward setups that oftentimes either take time to develop or, in the case of this, are very aggressive in the price response. Therefore, timing is important. And when you look across a lot of these stocks that have done this bounce, the one that I've been reviewing most carefully has been BABA, not only because of its relative market cap to a lot of these index ETFs, but the fact that BABA has been sort of one of the mainstays inside of the news cycle, and whether or not this has been, worth buying relative to some of the risks in this marketplace. But as traders, we're looking at this reversal and this setup and ultimately trying to take advantage of it while it is presented to us. So we saw a nice recovery on BABA. We also saw some of the stocks that weren't necessarily set up as well inside of the daily structure, putting in the same response, albeit maybe a little bit muted relative to some of the other bounces. Stocks like Baidu, stocks like PDD, which I would say was a bit more aggressive in the downside. And then now we're putting in that sort of not only engulfing structure, but very weak red daily candle on high volume into a large trend day candle against the downside candle. So these setups are often based upon continuation in the direction of the trend or breakout against the direction of the trend due to the fact that it is overextended. A lot of these setups are similar, and the idea here was we wanted to find full correlation across this marketplace. I do believe that we did find it. And ultimately, at this point, whether or not this continues is going to be more challenging. But depending on how you define your risk, you can look at this setup and see if we start to put in more of a basing pattern. If this marketplace begins to recover or the news cycle ultimately shifts, which it often does after the fact, after the move has occurred, this marketplace will likely put in some sort of higher low structure, some sort of large scale reversal, and that could be seen on something like a higher time frame, a weekly, or inside of the daily, looking for maybe the moving averages to start to catch up to the price. So we'll go ahead and put that one down for now. That has been a fairly successful setup, and so far the thesis has played out quite nicely. Next on the docket, something that is evolving currently, is the response of the dollar market relative to what we've been seeing in the more impulsive move off of the previous lows. Now, this marketplace has been a bit challenging, not because of the movement per se, but more or less because of the overhead monetary policies, along with the perception of the dollar in this economic environment. We know that the Federal Reserve policies are very accommodative, and that can lead to short-term dollar weakness, along with this perception of long-term, the overall lack of stability of the US dollar. But in the short term, we were also seeing this impulsive, excuse me, this impulsive movement inside of this index. And we were looking at correlated assets to see, is this an opportunity, or is the dollar market trying to give us some sort of warning? Once again, short term, we're looking at technicals. We're saying that the dollar, if it wishes to move higher, needs to start to clear some of these previous quote unquote resistance zones, these areas of supply that the dollar has struggled to break through in the past and has ultimately led to additional downside. If this truly is a strong move here, we wanted to see the proof. And what we were starting to eyeball is this sort of rising trend. Now, depending on how you draw this, a lot of technical traders will start to review this and say, well, this could also form into some sort of rising wedge, which oftentimes leads into a bit of divergence against momentum or stochastic oscillator-based stochastic-based indicators. That divergence ultimately leads to a rollover. And usually in the case of just trend analysis, you're looking for the lower trend line to break. We've certainly gotten that in the past couple of days. And what has been a common response is that we are seeing things like gold essentially holding psychological levels. We saw sort of a disrespect of gold towards the dollar strength. Gold did rally off of a significant low, this roughly 1750 area. Nice sort of impulsive move, pull back to support the psychological 1800 and the range that was formed below. And now we are seeing this potential breakout of this area. Now, this is with a backdrop of gold being a fairly downtrending asset in the mid to long term time frames. We're looking back in time the past year, and gold necessarily hasn't been a strong performer. But short term, with these reactions in dollar, this can lead to trade ideas and just opportunities to position yourself with notable risk. We know that if gold were to start breaking down below this area, that would be a warning sign for this breakout to have the momentum needed to continue. We're ultimately looking at this area holding and potentially breaking this previous swing high, getting us back into a zone that gold has not been in since the dollar has put in these significant lows. So you want to think back in the early June timeframe when the dollar was trading near previous lows. So we're seeing that in the dollar. Silver has been sort of an interesting sort of balance between the two. sharper declines inside of the silver market, not necessarily structurally the same as gold, and currently starting to see some of that impulsiveness back to the upside. But unlike gold, risk definition's a bit harder due to the fact that we did not see signs of strength prior to this move. So ultimately, silver was in sort of a shorter term downtrend. We saw sort of 2 to 3 legs lower after the same impulsive breakthrough higher that gold had, and then this sort of reaction that was occurring during the dollar's impulsive move higher. So whether you're looking at gold, silver, or just the metal markets in general, you want to be thinking maybe copper, which is another asset class that does have some benefits from a weak dollar, along with just an industrial background and perception of economic growth, along with recovery. Copper has been one of those stars in the past year and a half. We've seen huge gains inside of this marketplace. And while the volatility is quite high, you're looking for those moments to get back into trend and basically look for this maybe to continue against the backdrop of a more inflationary monetary policy that we've been discussing. So volatility coming in here whenever the interest rates were starting to decline, especially the speed of that decline. But the copper market is putting in a nice recovery here. We're seeing that sort of same impulsiveness to get back into potential trend. And now copper needs to prove it once again by holding something like a previous trend line. We've kind of gotten out of the sloping downtrend, and now we can see whether this really sets a base moving forward. So some opportunities potentially in the metals market. Once again, very early to tell, along with the news and the asset of dollar, the US dollar, just starting to break its sort of rising trend, and whether that was a sign of divergent weakness. Let's see. Moving into the IWM, as we've noted multiple times, the IWM is in this larger trading range. We know that in this trading range, VPOC sits pretty much smack dab in the middle at about 220. And with this trading range, we're just looking at repetitive patterns here. Most notably, IWM likes to respond well off the lows, getting you back to VPOC, and then ultimately moves away from VPOC in the form of some sort of bullish setup, often can have enough potential to get us back to the trading range highs. So looking at this structure here, we're starting to see the potential for some sort of flag, channel, range breakout, whatever you wish to call it. And the setup here is on the backdrop of being at VPOC. So if this setup is something worth trading, we should see that sort of strength continue in the next couple of sessions, ultimately with a high-end target of the trading range. And just like we have in the past, once we get to this trading range high, if we do, then ultimately we would look to see if IWM has enough, I would say, momentum along with an additional setup to break through this range for the first time. Now, the reason we want to think about this for the first time is essentially because the catch up of a more, I would say, resilient moving average, the 200 period on the daily, this has started to catch up with price. If this is going to occur, it is more likely to occur during this round of range traversal. If it does not occur, then ultimately back testing the 200 and the response that we get from it will sort of dictate whether this marketplace wants to continue to be in this range or ultimately start to break down for the first time. Remember that this marketplace is not only quite volatile, but also has a heavy influence on interest rates and the sensitivity to some of the assets within it. We see a lot of financial market cap inside of this. We have a lot of industrial and energy correlation. And while there is additional heavy IT along with consumer discretionaries, um, financials are the largest sort of industry and sector, very sensitive to interest rates, and ultimately more volatile than some of the large cap financial names that we review with the XLF. So keep this in mind. If we see response inside of something like the TNX or the TYX, setting this low and ultimately rallying higher, we need to see, of course, some impulsiveness with this rally, along with the respect of this previous low, which was set through very volatile downside, along with quite a impulsive response in the TLT. Lots of basically protection buying and the bond market moving quite aggressively. So whether this comes into fruition, do we see any sort of response with tech, which would ultimately have to pull back or maybe just consolidate? These are going to be some factors moving forward that we can start to review as we get through earnings. All right, speaking of earnings, we had a large name earnings yesterday, just like we did prior. We've gotten through Apple, we've gotten through Microsoft, we've gotten through AMD, and we've gotten through Google. We'll just go ahead and actually look at those intraday trading opportunities very quickly. Apple, fairly range bound overall, respecting the earnings expected move with this previous low being tested, along with some swing highs being respected. So lots of range to take advantage of yesterday. Little bit choppy afterwards, but overall, these are some big moves inside of this product. And as intraday traders, that's what we want to see. I would say less to a degree of Microsoft, but very similar to Apple, responding around the same time. Huge sort of range traversals, high to low, low to high, and then ultimately fading from the highs for the rest of the session. The star of yesterday, and a lot of traders watching for this to potentially have the same setups, but ultimately wasn't a stronger trend, was AMD. And when we think about the sort of impulsive breakout that AMD had, be thinking about, was there a way to sort of anticipate this breakout along with joining this trend as opposed to trying to fight it? AMD, of course, showing very strong earnings, just like a lot of our big market cap names. The key difference here is that instead of reacting at the morning highs, we saw breakout, back test, and continuation. So whether you're looking at the earnings response, which is going to be this range here, this sort of 88 to 93, this sets an area where the earnings and option marketplace is defining risk. If we see breakouts or breakdowns, the idea here was that this market may want to range explore or just range expand. And the reason this occurs is because the option marketplace, along with new demand and new traders coming in, they have to eventually stop out. If you're long, the same concept applies. You're starting to stop out if your range is violated. To the top side, if you're thinking that AMD has sort of a directional bias to the downside, at some point this becomes invalidated, and that leads to short covering along with the new demand of this marketplace. So very clear volume signals as we start to break higher, and ultimately not really seeing the sort of topping pattern. If anything, just a bit of profit taking into the close. So very strong move from AMD. I know a lot of traders took advantage of that yesterday. Some traders had some of their best trading days, single trades, and then I know a few traders had basically week setting profits on a stock like this. This is what earnings can offer us as traders, but understand that the trend is ultimately going to be your friend until something breaks down. So you want to follow the trend as opposed to fight it. And then Google, very similar to Apple and Microsoft, staying within the earnings range, bit compressed overall, and then fading into the close. There's also some notable divergence from Goog and Goog L, so the different class versions of this stock. That's going to be related to some of the share repurchasing that was announced after the earnings report. So in the I guess the conversations that occurred shortly thereafter. So just note that these are sort of divergent at the moment. That's due to that information that's been released. Okay, so now let's switch over to Facebook. So Facebook is putting in something a little different than our other, I would say, big market cap names that have reported so far. Keep in mind that with Facebook, we saw a breakout along with a lot of option gamma related upside relative to some of the news from last week. We had Snap and Twitter reporting their earnings ahead of Facebook, and that sort of sympathy correlated demand came into this marketplace before Facebook's earnings. What that did, at least in the short term, is it reestablished what the expected move for Facebook was going to be, along with what the sort of central point of where Facebook's price would be coming into earnings. Had Facebook been in this sort of trading range prior to earnings, risk would have been defined above and below based on whatever the implied volatility of the earnings were expected. But because of this event, option markets had to basically reassess. The implied volatility did expand by a couple of points in both directions, and then new risk parameters were set on different strikes inside of the same earnings series. So if you look at the response of earnings and the fact that we did have a bit of a sell-off, you may say that, well, Facebook really tanked. You know, it's a pretty sharp decline. And in the perspective of an intraday chart, it is quite significant. But keep in mind, the option market's entire purpose into earnings is to try to define this expected move in both directions, this range where the stock is most likely to fall, and ultimately where risk in the option market is being defined. You can see this prior to earnings if you know where to look. So in the case of Facebook, let's see if we can identify this decline to roughly 355 prior to the earnings event. And how we do that is we go into something like ThinkBack. We type in our symbol for Facebook, and we drag this back 1 or 2 days. Let's just go back 1 day for now. So what this is showing is the option marketplace prior to earnings. And, you know, in this perspective, we're just looking at the start of yesterday, which would be Wednesday morning. So as Facebook is trading throughout the day, obviously things are changing. These open price and the close price on the day are going to be slightly different. But overall, Facebook is trading around 373. The option market is saying prior to earnings that Facebook is likely to move approximately 18 points up or down based on the volatility of the series going into earnings. So when you look at this series, you will start to find that a lot of the risk definition is going to be placed around, just open up volume and open interest, these sort of parameters. If we're looking at maybe 375 as the midpoint, you want to be thinking about $18 to $20 in both directions. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect with the numerical differences, along with the fact that certain strikes aren't available, but you're going to see larger risk definition and larger volume nodes surrounding those price levels. 375 to 372.5, all the way up to 400 psychological. Larger risk is placed here based on the volume and the open interest. What this means is if earnings come out and the expected move is violated, and that can occur both during earnings or after, before this series is finished into Friday, expect the marketplace to either try to recover the expected move, come back into range. And basically that's going to be if it's a very muted sort of lack of interest move away from expected move, or if we get a surprise, if we get a sharp move away from this range, that's when gamma exposure and the option market, I would say components, the way this marketplace works is that it ultimately has to hedge that risk. That leads to additional covering, new participants coming in to take advantage of this opportunity, and these sharp moves away from the expected move. We haven't quite seen that yet, except for AMD. AMD had, in the case of the expected move, a larger than normal movement away from the top end of that range. And so far, it has led to about a 2 sigma deviation from the expected move of earnings. And that is quote unquote so far. This week is not over, and AMD obviously has a lot of eyes on. So if new demand comes in and essentially keeps this market rolling, AMD has the propensity to go 3 sigma or further. And that's when you start to see very aggressive, very volatile movements because of the option market having to constantly adjust its risk. So some things to keep in mind into earnings cycles, and how to play this pre-earnings is not to necessarily think about direction. Ultimately, consistency inside of earnings plays, especially with the option market, is all about implied volatility, taking advantage of those elevated levels and finding ways to sell against the expected move with defined or ultimately good management risk. Often traders will look at things like iron condors going into earnings. And that's simply where you go to sell against or further away from the expected move. And the idea is that you simply want to find strikes that fit your risk parameters in the construction of an iron condor. So a 350, 345 on the put side, and then we could do something equidistant from the mid price, which is going to be the price around close. We'll just say that this is a little bit higher than 400. Let's go ahead and sell, maybe we'll just do a 400 and a 410. Selling this iron condor, taking in some of that credit initially, and then expecting the marketplace to stay within that range, which allows for the implied volatility crush after earnings, along with the fact that we stayed within your strikes. You can ultimately close this trade post earnings for whatever profit is obtained, along with potentially holding it into the Friday series, looking for these to expire near worthless on both sides. So iron condors, strangles or straddles, there's a lot of different ways to take advantage of this into earnings. It's all about knowing these risk parameters, knowing the expected move, and ultimately being a little bit of a fundamental slash analyst inside of previous earnings events. If this stock often breaks expected moves, it is not recommended per se, based on historical data, to leverage the expected move into your strategy. But if the stock often stays within, you can usually take advantage of that. And if it fails to do so this time, you roll or manage your risk accordingly. So lots of ways to take advantage of earnings this cycle, whether you're doing it pre, post, or just a reaction intraday. Hopefully you've had some great trades and some ways to just sort of capitalize on this increased volatility of the market. So finally, if we look at just our overall market conditions, SPY so far, along with the Qs, are staying within this sort of high reactionary low that was placed a few days prior, the Qs are going to be the one that I'm kind of keeping the close eye on as we are getting into sort of channel resistance. We're starting to potentially break short-term trend. And ultimately, the reason why this low is so important to me is because of where we are in something like the futures. We're at sort of psychological 15,000. This low was set very aggressively and in the backdrop of earnings and large market cap names of the NASDAQ. So if we start to break down or just sort of roll over, the downside can be quite attractive once again with low risk defined. If we do not, then ultimately the trend is your friend and we will kind of continue on this path of sort of least resistance to the upside. We've already looked at the IWM. The SPY is kind of following suit with the QQQ, and that's with the understanding that a lot of the inflationary sectors are still sort of hovering without too much volatility. We haven't seen much in the way of reaction except for energy. That's been with the crude backdrop and the recovery after the OPEC discussions. We also have a large sector like industrials, just waiting to see if financials respond. And then healthcare, one of our largest sectors, but certainly more of a defensive sector than a risk on. Very strong, very trending, and so far not really putting any warning signs. Surprisingly, biotech has not been part of that strength in in healthcare, but we did see a bit of a reaction yesterday. I'll be watching this to see if we're just range trading and maybe looking for another breakout in the next couple of maybe week or so. So I think that's all the time I got. So let's go ahead and call it here. Let's stay tuned and get ready for pre-market prep with Carlos and Norm. And ultimately, trade safe. We have a couple more earnings events coming up, and that's going to keep the volatility relatively high in this market. Try and take advantage
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
I am great. I want to be called Thornorm
Thor-
today. Thornorm.
yes. Um, I see. I'm getting some kind of echo here. Are you guys getting some echo? Can you guys hear Peter? No, Peter's silent. Yeah, I didn't see what's going on here. So over on YouTube, you guys should be fine, but our chat room is needs to be reset. So let me reset our chat room. It is acting a little funky, so we'll take care of that there. So uh, let's see here. And 1 second, guys. What do we have here? Okay, Peter, say something. Let me make sure that they can hear you.
Hello. Good morning. Can you guys hear me now? Anyone? Hello? Anybody? Nope.
Nope, they
Can't
can
hear.
still hear. Okay, so 1 second, guys. Need you guys to just reset things over here and try to figure out what's going on. 1 second. All right, let's see if you guys can hear Peter this time.
Hello. Can you hear me now? Anyone? Oh, I just heard
Uh,
myself.
yeah, make sure you're
Oh,
muted in
oh,
the
that's
chat
me.
room.
That's me. Sorry. I just
Yeah, there you
realized I
go. There it
restarted the
is.
room. That's my fault.
All
Oh my
right.
goodness.
All right, we got this, guys. We figured out the issue. Sorry for the delay, guys. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, Peter. Peter's jumping in really last minute. Norm is not feeling well. Thor was going to cover, but he also cannot get on. Something's wrong with some internet connections there. So Peter jumped in right last minute, as usual, saving the day or the morning so far. So thank you, Peter. Appreciate that very, very much. Daniel, I agree with you 100%, my friend. This is going to be a very wild morning already. So let's get right to it. What we'll do here is we're going to skip over the highlights from yesterday. We won't go through that. I just want to look at AMD, though. We got to look at AMD because AMD was just unbelievable, guys. I mean, this stock yesterday was just insane. Probably one of the best trading stocks the entire day. It just kept going, right? Nice little drop here, beautiful reversal. I mean, this thing had everything going for it. It was just unbelievably clean. Peter, I'm not sure if you traded this yesterday or not, but man, it was just
Yeah,
incredible.
AMD, their stockholder support line called me yesterday and told me I had to get my AMD tattoo lasered off because of all days not to trade AMD. I didn't trade it yesterday.
Wow, wow. Yeah, it was definitely very clean. TRY was a good mention as well. Guy going pretty nice here in the morning. Also, nice little pop here. We saw Brian and Andrew both take that trade live yesterday. They did very well with that. So again, a couple of those names. And you got CCO. You got some other ones that did very well yesterday. And then you got some regular ones that just were very choppy, like the Mara and Neo and stuff like that. So pretty decent day yesterday. With that said, Peter, I know these notes are not updated here on the U.S. economic calendar because Norm is the one that does that. But do we have? I know we have jobless claims coming out today, and some other
Well,
information.
let's take a look. You're right. Jobless claims have come out. Oh no, they're not out yet. Sorry, I just see the forecast. So actuals aren't released, but that should be coming out any minute. We're also looking for the GDP information, which should be out also at 8:30, and then pending home sales. So nothing major. I think the big news of the day certainly is all the earnings we've got. We've got some stuff that's moving here, and we will get to that as we look at our gappers.
Yep, absolutely. And speaking of gappers, let's jump right into that, guys, with no delay since we're running a little bit behind here. We'll remove our stuff from yesterday here. Control A, then Control X makes it real easy to just get rid of all those columns there. Let's start with, wow, we have a lot on both sides of the field this morning. Let's start with LC. We'll do probably top 10 on each side. Let's see if we can get through that. So LC this morning up 34%, 692,000 shares traded so far. Pre-market action is very, very active. Let's get our 5-minute in here. Not bad pre-market action. We do have shares for short on this one. This is a very nice big pop. Now, looking at this stock, I can tell they don't get great volume, but today they're starting out pretty good as far as volume in the pre-market, right? If you look at their daily here, very low volume for the most part. And what is LC? LC is Lending Club. So I guess some kind of bank or something. But yeah, they're up nice this morning, 34%. They must have some kind of news here. We'll put them on here.
Yeah, it's earnings. It looks like they beat their numbers and beat their numbers quite handily. So that's what's causing the jump here.
All right, excellent. So we'll add them on here, guys. They got a great pre-market action. Their daily's not bad. Their volume is just a little bit lighter, but their pre-market action looks really good this morning. Worth taking a look at. We have FLGC this morning. Their pre-market action starting to get going here, 5.3 million. They're up 17%, and they seem to be having some fun in the last couple of days here, really breaking out nicely here and here as well. And now another continuation, possibly getting as high as 11. The stock was sitting at $3 just a few days ago. So definitely got some stuff going here. Now, here's the one thing I don't like about this pre-market action is some of these wicks, right? If you notice here, it's very wicky, not a lot of bodies on the candles. I tend not to like that in the pre-market. I want to see cleaner action. I mean, they got 5.3 million, right? That's a lot of volume, but that volume doesn't seem to be trading all that well just yet. So we'll see. I'll put it maybe as a possible. If we go over here and look, yeah, go ahead.
FLGC, it's a cannabis play, so just be aware of that, because we saw Tilray move yesterday with earnings. Mm-hmm. And they seem to have some news where they've got a distribution agreement with Australia. So that seems to be what's giving it the boost.
All right. So it looks like yesterday traded very well. Very dead pre-market action, and they got going here a couple of minutes after the open, and that seemed to have gone well. So we'll see. We'll keep them on here. You know what? We'll put them as, no, I'm going to put it as a possible, because I know we're going to have stuff that might look slightly better than this. So we'll put that as a possible for now. VXRT, I remember this thing was hot some time ago, and we had it on our list for a couple of days. They are back on track here. Looks like they're up 12% this morning. 2.4 million shares traded so far, and this traded very well. I know the daily looks horrible, guys. This is a very bad daily chart. You can see in between some of the good candles, you have just this choppiness on here, but I believe it was here that we had some good times, and also down here back in early May. So let's see where this goes today. Starting out pretty good so far. VXRT, I'm going to add them on here. They are not a low flow stock. They're actually sitting at 121, and I recall this as well. They had a high short interest, which can help some of the squeezes, and we might be seeing some of that right now. So we're breaking out here out of the daily, and pre-market action looking very, very active this morning.
The XRT does have news. They announced that they have an oral vaccine for COVID that they're saying has boosted immune responses. So I think that positive news here is, especially being all the downside news that we've had in the last week with the variants, is giving VXRT this pump up.
Yeah, nice little pop-up for them this morning. That is a great, great catalyst. So we'll see if they can get some of these highs here, guys, that we have on our daily as well. So definitely putting them on deck. Let's see where that goes. Next, we have AVXL. This one at the moment, they're up 9.6, 230,000 shares traded. They're daily all over the place. And we had this on our list before, guys. I'm not a fan of it. It's been in play for us, at least in the gappers list in the past. I really do not like the way this one trades, so I'm not going to waste any time on it. I'm going to move on to something else. YMM here, this is a horrible pre-market action. You can see here that does not look great, and their daily also not good neither. Recent IPO, yeah, this is not looking good for what we're used to looking for or trading, right? So we'll skip that one. CPOP this morning, pre-market action 265, they're up 7%. Interesting daily here as well. Also a recent IPO back in June, July, and beginning of July here, and daily just looks again, just nothing great about this right now.
Yeah, the channel normal, just I'll say Chinese junk.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. We'll skip on that one. Also, 11 million shares float. I missed that one there, so that's no good there. All right, we'll do a few more here. KC, guys, also not looking good. Not a great pre-market action. Daily, not interesting at the moment, so we'll skip on that one. I think I'm going to stop here. I'm going to look at a few that have been very active. TRY, I think, is worth taking a look at. They are up 5.4, 1.7 million shares traded. And it's funny, we had a good webinar, AMA. Actually, me and you, Peter, we had this webinar last night. And we were talking about, what has changed a lot in the market since, a few years back when we started trading, and just the number of shares of stocks that are now in our gappers list. Like in the past, this list will only have like a TRY with volume. It wouldn't have all this stuff on here. So make our, our list more fine-tuned. Now you got so much stuff on here, and a lot of it, you got to filter through a lot of crap to get through some good stuff. TRY looks very good this morning, 1.7, 5.6. And look where it's sitting. This thing is sitting all the way down here, probably number 10 on the list, right? And out of all of these, we only picked out 4, right? So it kind of tells you how much stuff you have to sift through to kind of get through to something that's worth watching this morning. We have XPEF down here as well. This one this morning up 3.6, 508. 1,000 shares traded. I'm going to look at NEO. I tend to like NEO a little bit better. I think they were choppy yesterday. I didn't see anything great on it. Yeah, they had a choppy start here, guys. A little bit of a drop. Yeah, this is not clean. Hopefully that does not continue because they've been trading pretty well. If you go back and look at their intraday action, like the day before, this was real nice. Look at this beautiful drop here. Hopefully they can get into some of that clean trading. I'm going to add NEO. I think I like the way they've been trading over the last couple of days. And we'll stop here on the gap up list. There's a whole list here.
Maybe one to add that's on the gap up list for you. Qualcomm, QCOM is there. They had earnings this morning. Not only did they beat their numbers, but they provided a bullish Q4 forecast. So they don't usually trade well pre-market, but when they are in play, they can actually have a good day. So maybe today is one of those days, but there is positive news.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. Again, they're don't put too much weight on their pre-market, guys. Their pre-market is usually pretty bad. But again, like you said, if they have a catalyst that can do well. Gapping down this morning, ANVS. We got a couple of low flows leading the way here, and semi-low flow. This one's sitting at 28 million. But again, in the area, ANVS this morning they are. Let's do that just once. ANVS, they are down 53% right now, 753,000 shares traded. This thing is getting killed at the moment. Sitting in the American Stock Exchange, we usually don't get a lot of stocks there that come in play, but this one obviously taking a very nice hit. Their daily doesn't look interesting. There are 5.1 million shares flow, so you got to be very careful. This thing is going to move very wild. Right now, we're seeing a 90-cent spread, 80 cents now. So I don't know how tradable this is going to be. I'll put it on here. Maybe it gets better at the open. But again, that type of move with that type of spread, that there's nothing good can come out of that. BCEL this morning, they are down 30%. Nice big drop here. Also sitting in the American Stock Exchange. 278,000 shares traded. Pre-market action, you got a nice little drop here. You haven't done much after that. And their daily also horrible. Very light volume. I just don't think this thing can get the engines going today. High short flow interest here. I'm going to keep it off my list. We're hoping to find something a lot better than this. CTXS this morning also down big here, 17%, guys. Only 102,000 shares traded. Not a low float, sitting at 123 million. It could be interesting. It could be interesting. It's if you look at the price and the way these candles are moving, you are definitely getting like a $2 candles in here. So you got to be very careful with this one. And maybe a possible, I don't think that's even going to stay there for long. So hopefully
Yeah.
not.
CTXS is only listed, barely has more than 100,000 shares. However, it does have earnings. This is Citrix Systems. They not only missed their numbers, but they've got a lowered outlook. So I'm not familiar with it. I don't think I've ever sort of put it on a watch list, but I like the negative news if you're willing to trade this short, but it doesn't look great right now.
Yeah, I don't think we ever looked at this before. At least I can't recall, and possibly not, because if you look at this daily, it's not something we usually keep on deck. But today, big nice drop with a catalyst, worth having there as a possible. Let's see if the volume can get better on this. Heading on down, we have SPRT. And this one is down 9.8, 337,000 shares traded. So we got some good volume here. Pre-market action is not bad, but it's not great, right? But you do have a nice little range going on here. Hopefully that can get a little bit tighter and we can get some decent moves there. As far as the daily, we've been on a nice little bullish trend here the last couple of days. It's been gapping up nicely. Today we're seeing the first gap down, it looks like. So I don't know. Possible, guys. We'll come back to it. How's the daily volume on this, by the way? Let's take a look here. Oh, you know what I'm noticing now? This is a low flow as well, 17.3. So again, we're going to hold us to a little bit of a higher standard. We do not have shares for sure on this. Yeah, that's not going to make the list.
Yeah, this is, like you mentioned, has been in play for the last few days, and the volume, you can see, has really ramped up over the last week and a half. So being that there's no specific news today, this is really just sort of a sell-off after the gap up yesterday, which tells me it's likely to be pretty choppy today. So I'd be cautious if you're thinking this is one that you want to look at trading.
Yeah, I agree 100%, guys. And no shares for short neither, so be mindful of that. Here's a NKLA this morning. They are down 6.1. They've been stuck in this consolidation range for some time now, 3 weeks or so. They try to get out of this. They slam right back into it. So just kind of up and down here. They're now nearing the bottom of this consolidation. Their pre-market action down 6.1, 809,000 shares traded. Any news on this, Peter? Maybe no earnings? It's not today.
No, in this case, it's actually the founder, Trevor Milton, apparently has been indicted on charges he made false statements to investors. So that indictment against the founder, specifically relating to the company. And remember we talked about Nikola and how they weren't they the ones that produced that like fake video where they pushed their car down the hill and we're doing things like that and then they filmed it as a working vehicle. Anyways, so like this company has been sort of bouncing around with all sorts of rumors of, is it real, does it really function? So the fact that there's an indictment could spell for a real pull down on this stock today. So that news just came out about 20 minutes ago, so we'll see how it reacts.
I like that catalyst. We do have shares for short. We're slamming up against the area of support that we've been trying to hold over the last couple of days. That news is not going to help that. I think we might be able to look at this as a possible. And you have to be careful. This thing can move quite a bit. It is not as aggressive as it was a few months back when we had this in play, right? When it was like the best thing since sliced bread over here, right? So it's not in play like that, but it can still be aggressive. So be very careful. PayPal this morning, they are down 6.1, 305,000 shares traded. I like this drop on PayPal today. They are definitely in play, guys. I'm going to add this one on here. Earnings, Peter?
Yeah,
we got going on?
So this is earnings, but they beat their numbers in the quarter, but the market didn't like the outlook they provided for the future quarters. So that's why we're seeing this push down on it.
Yeah, this drop is good here, guys, for PayPal. They usually do not put a great pre-market action. They're a little bit lighter on the volume, as you can see here, around 7.4, even lower on their regular basis. But today, this is great pre-market action for them, 318,000 already. So I think PayPal is a good one to have on here. All right, I'm going to stop on here, but I'm going to look at Facebook because Facebook has been very active. They're down 3.4, 752. These guys are definitely in play. They've been, they've been on the news. They got stuff going on. What's the latest and greatest on this one, Peter?
So there was definitely earnings after the close yesterday on Facebook. They've beaten their numbers, but like we've seen so often recently, just beating your numbers doesn't necessarily mean the stock will go up. So
Right. Right.
they sort of got punished as a result of that. There's also some news that just came out again about 20 minutes ago. I didn't realize they were in court in Germany about some rules on how Facebook was managing hate speech, and it looks like the German court strikes down what Facebook was looking to do. So they ruled that Facebook acted illegally in that country, so that could have some ripple effects and is probably acting as a drag on the stock this morning.
Yeah, that's so. I like this drop here, guys. Especially the day looks pretty nice here. We're in between, right at the bottom of this gap up that we had a couple of days ago. So let's see if we can hold that, or we're looking to kind of head down here. We also have another level here as well of nice resistance that can also act as support. It's a little bit lower than some of these levels we have here. So Facebook is good. Great pre-market action. Great volume, guys, this morning. That is looking nice. And we do have shares for sure. Of course, Facebook, you're always going to have shares for sure. With that said, Peter, anything else you like that we might have not touched on yet?
Well, despite not trading AMD yesterday, I certainly like it for today. So something I'll keep an eye on. I'm still hoping one of these days it's going to hit that $100 mark. And to the challenge that the room issued me, I've got my 100 proof Scotch sitting here, ready to have a nice
Very
drink
nice.
once it gets $100. So that was the deal. I've got it ready. So hopefully that'll
Very
happen.
nice. So if it hits $100, let's say at 9:45, you'll be taking that shot then, or you're waiting after hours. What are you doing here?
No, as soon as it happens, we're raising a glass. So
there we go. Love
Marvin
it.
wants to know. So this is Abalor. It's Abunda, the cask strength. So there you go. Anyways, other
nice.
stocks. iRobot doesn't look good pre-market. It used to be in play. I've got a soft spot because there was a period of time where we were trading iRobot all the time. That was
What's
maybe
the ticker on that one?
IRBT.
IRBT.
They had earnings.
Yep.
And they missed their numbers, so I'm expecting that to pull down again. Pre-market doesn't look good, but this is another one that often sort of only takes off after the market opens. Other ones for you guys to take a look at. They're not great. Ford, oddly, it had earnings. They beat their numbers. It's pretty active pre-market, but of course, Ford is one of those, when you look at it, it's the definition of algorithmic trading. If you pull up maybe a 1-minute chart on Ford, you can sort of look at that. See these candles that are all playing within a 1 cent range?
I'm even going to take you to and that's pre-market. Let's take it to the actual market time so you can see how that's still the situation. This is during market hours.
Right. So,
so
I know this is the type of stock that drives Norm crazy, but I don't mind trading them if we get some of the retail trading and it eliminates that look, right, that you can see. And today it had earnings. Ford actually has had some good days behind it, so I'm hoping that today might give it a boost. Another couple that I like, just for reference for everybody out there, Xilinx, XLNX. I've also got a soft spot for that one because of the history. There was a point, you may remember, Carlos, again about 3 years ago, we were trading that every day.
Yes. Yes.
But they had earnings, and they beat their numbers. And the last one I'll mention is XPO. We played it for a very limited period of time. Again, earnings play today based on positive earnings, but XPO transportation company. We'll see. Again, pre-market looks terrible as it usually does. So there's a ton of other earnings, but maybe those are the ones that are at the top of the list.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, let's go over to our chat room. What do you guys like this morning? We'll start with Kevin Z. You're giving us HO Hood. You're giving us Hood here this morning, HOOD, and that's not. Oh, that's IPOing today. Okay, gotcha. So that's not ready yet. Uber this morning, they're down nicely today. They are down here. Let's take a look at Uber. They're down 5% today. So that's pretty nice. I think they're definitely in play, guys. 4.9 million shares traded. Now, Uber can be tricky at times. It is not the best intraday trading stock, but I do like this drop here. We're sitting right slightly above an area of support back in May. So that is interesting. I do like Uber. Man, we have a lot today, guys. We're going to do we have to do a good job of filtering some stuff out here. So I like that one. Uber is good. Let's take a look here. You guys are coming in fast and furious. I like that. Baba. Let's take a look at Baba next. Yeah, Baba's in play, guys. If you like Baba, look at this move from Baba. Look at the bounce we're getting over the last couple of days. I mean, we hit 180. We're now at 201, and looking pretty strong this morning, up 2.7, 1.2 million shares traded. So the volume is looking nice. Man, oh man, Baba in play today for sure. Heading on down, we do have AMD. That is good. XOM. I don't like XOM as much, guys. Again, it's not the man. My chart's taking forever to load today. It's interesting. I don't like this one as much today. Trade, they're up today nicely, 1.2. Maybe they have some news, but for the most part, I don't like the way this one trades for me. I think I can find something better today. mRNA this morning, their day looks amazing. Pre-market, not so much. Volume is just starting to pick up, only at 90,000. They're up slightly over 1%, but this daily does look very interesting here, guys, for a possible breakout. So if you like mRNA, I will add that onto the list. I just have way too many here to add this one. But again, the great thing about our community, as we always mention, there will be some people watching mRNA. There will be some people calling it out. Either one of the moderators will put this on their list, or even you members will call this out, and we'll take a look at it. And we also have our scanners. Let's not forget about that. Hamish, you're giving us FCX this morning, up 2.2, 207,000 shares traded. I like the daily here. I like the breakout that we're getting. Pre-market is okay. We got some decent volume on here. I'm just not sure about this one. I haven't had any success trading this, or at least I don't think I've traded. I don't think I found anything good on this one. I like the daily. That's really about it here. Again, I think we have better stocks this morning. Baba is good. We have that on deck. Sava or Sava. This one, Sava's got some volume. 1 million shares traded. They're up 4% right now. They seem pretty wild here in the price action, though. What is the float on this? 37 million. Man, this thing can move, though. If you look at the prices here, guys, you're looking at 137 here. This candle goes up to 142. It's the high of that candle. So you got some pretty wild moves. The spread is insane. 80 cents. So $1 plus there. Yeah, I don't know about this, man. This spread's got to get a lot better. The moves here are just, I don't know how you manage your risk effectively. At least I cannot with a spread that big. So, and on top of that, if you look at the volume here, you're not getting a whole lot of volume throughout the day. So I don't expect that spread to get any better if this volume does not tighten up a lot more. So, 30 cents, that's not too bad for pre-market. Yeah. I'll skip on this one for now. NKLA is good to go. ARCC, what do we have here? This is dropping pretty good. Beautiful pre-market action, especially after 8 a.m. here. Nice little drop with some good volume as well. That's nice. Down 3.3, 472,000. Their daily, though. Their daily is not good, right? This is very, very choppy. But today, their pre-market action is the one that's leading the way for them. What is the flow for this? Just want to check. ARCC. We're sitting at 400. Oh, it's a huge float, 437. So, the pre-market looks great. I really like the pre-market. The daily is a little questionable, maybe a possible. We'll see if we can make room for them depending on how we find some stuff here, Gary. So thank you for that one. NKLA is slamming down. What's going on? NKLA. Oh yeah, look at that. That is not. These guys are not going to have fun today. They are not going to have fun today with that catalyst. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely in play. I think I'll be moving that one up. That's going to be on our main list today. DD's active pre-market action, 22 million shares traded, up 20%. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop right here. We have way too many. Over on YouTube, I can only take probably 2 or 3. Let's see. Maybe something that has not been mentioned. mRNA, we looked at. JD, I'm not a big fan of JD. I'd rather sometimes even watch Baba better than JD. They used to trade very well. Peter, if you remember, we had JD on our watch list almost every single day. Yeah. But yeah, they're not the same JD that we used to know. So I think
Brian's traded it a couple of times in the room in the last week or so, and done quite well with it. So it can move, but I admit I have always found JD difficult. So it's not one that I specialize in.
If I run my report on JD, it's probably all negative. It's probably a losing total there on JD. So I'm going to stay away from it. Looking at Baba, we have on Dex. VXRT, we do have. They're very active this morning, so I have that as well. AZN. We've seen this one before. I don't like the way this one trades. It's again, it's very choppy, so I usually stay away from it. I don't like the daily. They've seen much higher volume in July here, as you can see down there. But even with that volume, they just don't trade very well for me. BEKE, what do we have here? The BEKE up 4%, 278,000. It's not bad, you know. On a regular day, this could be great. But again, we have some other ones that look so much better than this one right now. So we're gonna go what we have on deck this morning. So, all right, let's stop here, guys. We have a laundry list here of stuff. We're gonna go over to our community announcements. We'll come back and fine tune the heck out of this list.
All right, so we've done a couple of sessions this week. I guess I've done a couple of sessions, or that guy Peter has anyway. So on Tuesday night, we did the picking the right share size for you. That should be posted today. So if you missed it, you can certainly catch it up. If you're an elite member in our education center, really, it hopefully provides useful information on how you can figure out how to manage your share size, use some risk management principles, and find some different methodologies that you can apply. Last night, Carlos and I did replace Dr. Katz because he had a family emergency, who was going to be replaced by Andrew, who was unable to make it. And once again, Carlos and I stepped in, saved the day, and did the Ask Me Anything session, and it was a blast. We had some great questions from our members, and it was a lot of fun. So that was one that was not recorded, being that it was an Ask Me Anything. It was sort of there for those who were able to attend, and thank you for everybody who joined last night. For those, and by the way, we do events every week. Normally, we tell you what's coming up in the next week. Carlos, I guess this week we don't have that yet posted, but rest assured, there will be webinars, as always, a technical webinar on Tuesday. Well, the intro for anybody who's new on Monday with Kyle's technical support afterwards, especially if you're looking at hotkeys. Then on Tuesdays, we always do a strategy workshop that gives you vital information on how to improve your strategic approach to trading. And then Wednesdays are usually our psychology related webinars. So those will be coming. And yes, as Baba and people in the room are pointing out, I am Thornorm today. So if you want to submit a trade for trade of the day, we're still active with that, despite the fact that Mike is off gallivanting in Garlic Land. Apparently he is in the garlic capital of the world. So hopefully enjoying that. Anyways, but submit your trade on Twitter using the tags you can see there, and make sure that you use the hashtags. That's how they get identified. We then pick from them the best trade of the day, and from the trades of the day, we then pick a trade of the week. We announce those usually at the close here in the room every single day, and they get posted on Twitter. So you will have fame, fortune, and get bragging rights for those trade of the day submissions if you are selected. Hopefully you'll be interested in joining us here in the room. If you're on YouTube, we love the thumbs up. If you like the show, we'd appreciate that. It's great to see. Thank you so much for those that have already given us a thumbs up. And if you're interested in joining us in the room, because we trade live all day, you can join just to try it out. What you get with that $24 1-week trial is access to the trade room for all market hours. You can watch us trade live. You can ask questions. You can interact with our members. Figure out if it's the community for you. As Carlos says all the time, you really need to join a community if you're trading. It absolutely helps. It doesn't have to be ours, but think about joining a community that fits your trading style and your personality. We'd love for you to try and join with us and see if it's the right place. If you love that, then maybe you will join as an elite member, because as an elite member, you then get access to all of our training material, all of our classes, as well as all of the recorded, of course, material that we post. That you can now access using the discount code OPTIONS50, which gives you a 50% discount off the first month. So if you want to try the monthly membership and say, well, let me give it a shot, let me see what you've got in your education center, give it a shot. We were rated one of the best education centers out there for traders. We're very proud of that. And hopefully you will find value in it as well. So use that code OPTIONS50, and hopefully we'll see you in the room soon.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Peter. All right, guys, let's get to it this morning. I was looking at Nokia here because a lot of people mentioned in the room, but man, this stock, guys, it is just pure garbage. It's horrible. For intraday trading, it is. I mean, I usually don't go that route, but man, this stock. Oh,
Yeah. So
it's
let's
so
talk
bad.
about that. Nokia is one of those stocks that is heavily it's dual listed, and its
Mm-hmm.
primary market isn't really the U.S. market. So you have to
Right.
be careful with dual listed stocks because it can be drawn by activity in other markets that we have just sort of no visibility to if all you're watching is the U.S. market. So Nokia's got 4 million shares traded so far, but look at it, right? Look at
Yeah,
the price action,
it's
as Carlos said. So be aware of that.
horrendous.
That's why we often say foreign stocks. We look at them and label them as an area of concern, not because they're foreign, it's because of that dual listing impact.
Yep, I agree 100%. All right, guys, let's take a look quickly here. What we have LC on our list is up 41%, looking real nice. I like the pre-market action, great volume there. We do have stock for sure on this one, so that's good. VXRT is taking off here nicely. We'll see where that goes. TLRY, I like this one here for a possible continuation and a breakout. Neo this morning. Neo. Interesting. Let's see, Neo QCOM. I'm gonna move QCOM down. They can get going, but I think it's a good possible for the moment. So we'll bring this one down over here, and we're gonna get very selective here because we have way too many. I like PayPal, guys. This drop is very nice. We'll keep that on there. Facebook is interesting. AMD. You know what? I'm gonna drop AMD. And the only reason why is because I know people will watch it and they can call something out if this gets going, right? I know Peter's going to be watching this one, some other moderators, and you guys in the room. So I can kind of lean on you guys to call that out if it starts doing something pretty nice there. Baba is good. We'll keep that one on deck. DD, you know what? This is looking pretty good, guys. If you trade this in the past and it's done very well, keep it on your list. I'm going to bring it down here to this secondary, and I'm going to remove it from my end on the main list. How many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe one too many, but I think that's okay. Let's fine tune this list here. AR, start from the bottom. ARCC. I love this pre-market action, but the dailies are all over the place. So concerning on how this thing is going to trade at the market open, I think I'm going to remove it for now, guys, just because we got to make room here for some other stuff is looking a little bit better. XLNX, we spoke about this one. It could be a good one, but the pre-market right now is still pretty light. XPO, this is one that's, again, we'll have to look for our scanners as well. Ford, as much as this is moving right now, we know how difficult it is to trade. I'm going to remove it for now, guys. Again, it's just don't have any faith on it being all that good. IRBT, I do like. This is a good drop, and we've seen this trade very well in the past. I'm going to keep on that one. That could be our sleeper for tonight. NKLA, I think we actually have to move NKLA up. I think this catalyst that we have today is going to be significant to make some pretty good moves here. CTX, love the drop here. Pre-market actions, okay. How's the spread right now? We're looking at 40 plus cents here. You know what? Maybe a possible. We'll leave it there. FLGC, 6 million shares traded right now. We'll leave it on there. Uber is good. We'll keep that on there. QCOM is okay. AMD, all right. I think that's good. We still have way too many. I think we got to fine tune this a little bit more, but we're running short on time, so we'll do some levels for our main list here today. So let's start with LC, guys. LC, low of the pre-market, we're looking at 21.85. High of the pre-market, we're looking at 24.85. We'll throw two levels on there. Heading towards the bottom on the daily, we do have 20.07. And now I am going to move over to the left. We have a level right here just below the price action at 23.18. This level will be at 22.65. So we'll throw a level there. And is this all-time highs? Have we been up here before? What do we got going on? At least not in the last 52 weeks, maybe even more. This is 2018. So I think we're slamming up against all-time highs here in this pre-market action. So we'll keep it as that. 24.85 is the highest level I see on the daily for the moment. So here's VXRT.
It's been higher.
Yeah, it has.
Sorry, Carlos. It was higher. It looks like when the stock opened, when it IPO'd back in 2014. But that's the last time I see it, the only time I see it up this high.
Oh man, this thing has not had a fun ride here. So you can see IPO, it has never been up here since all that time. So that could be interesting. Well, since I'm here, 2014, let's go back up because this could be some significant levels. We have 26.40 and we also have 29.21. So let's see. they're making definitely an impact here as they're moving higher, up 42% with some good volume this morning. And I like their pre-market action as well, looking very good. VXRT, it started off very well. It's getting a little bit choppy now, so I'm not liking that. I think I'm going to move this down, guys. Again, I would have loved to see a better pre-market action. It's got great volume. I'm going to move it down. I'm going to move it down to a possible. So let's get rid of it there. VXRT, we'll put it on here. And we'll see what happens there. TLRY had a great day yesterday. Great start to the market open as well. It took off nicely for a beautiful open range breakup on the 1, on the 5. It just had it all going on yesterday at the open. 1486, great level here of resistance towards the top. We have another level here at a 1547. So you're covered there towards the bottom, guys. Highs and lows as well. Previous day close. And that's taking care of you there. High of the pre-market is going to be over at 1708. So we'll slam a level there. And then slightly above that, we have a 1740 level as well. So that's looking good right now for TLRY. Pre-market action, not as clean, but it has great volume. So we'll see if this day wants to continue on such a strong day that it had yesterday here, gapping up another 5.1 this morning. Here's NEO. You know what? NEO, I think we got to move NEO down. Again, we have some volume here. But I don't, the pre-market action right now doesn't look great, and you have a lot of congestion happening here at the moment. So I'm gonna bring it down, guys. If somebody else watching, we can look at it. Also our scanners, but we'll bring that down for today. Here's PayPal. I love this drop. They typically do not trade very well, but this drop is very nice today. They're down 5.8 with some good volume here. High of the pre-market 287.84. The low of the pre-market 283.13. We'll slam some levels there. Towards the bottom, if we were to lose that pre-market low, we're looking at 280.27 and all the way down here over at around 276.26. Now towards the top, if we can get above this 287.70, we do have an area here, nice level here at 291. Look at the area of resistance you have there. You got some more support happening here as well. So that's looking pretty good there on PayPal. So we'll see where this goes. This is a good pre-market action for PayPal. They typically do not have an amazing pre-market action with great volume. Here is Facebook, guys. These guys are definitely in play. I love this drop here we're getting this morning. 357.50 is the low of the pre-market. Your high of your pre-market over at 365.50. So 2 levels there. Where the price action is sitting right now, you do have the opening of this day here. I'm going to mark that down, 360. Let's just throw a level on there just in case we're gonna be continue to flirt around with the price action there as we are seeing now. So outside of that window towards the top, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and then towards the bottom, if we were to lose this 357, you do have another great level here on the daily at 351.51. Right on, you can see a great level of support and resistance as well. Here's BABA. BABA is definitely in play. A very strong couple of days here in BABA after dropping down. Just look at the recovery this thing has had here. Just incredible. Towards the bottom right now, you're covered with the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on here. So do not need to add anything else towards the bottom. Now towards the top, I am going to add our pre-market high over at 202 exactly. So let's put that there. And then above that, this daily gets a little funky here, but let's see if we can find some good clean levels. Clearly, this right here is a level, guys. It's 209. Look how clean that is. Look at the support, how many touches you're getting on there. That is beautiful. If we look in between here, maybe 205.90, 206. You got a couple of days slamming up against that there, using that support and resistance. I think that's a good one to have on there. It's not a 209 level, right? Very strong support happening there, but that will, that'll work for now. Here's NKLA. Again, they got some horrible news this morning. They're not doing well. They are down 7.5, and there's, again, trying to stay within this support area. They've been consolidating here over the last couple of weeks, trying to stay above that, but really struggling. Low of the pre-market, 1275. Above the price action, you have plenty of levels from your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Previous day closes on here. So again, a lot going on in this little box there. But towards the bottom, if we were to continue on this downtrend and lose this 1275, we're moving into May timeframe. And here we can see a couple of levels. This is one here over at a 1205. Great area of resistance and support right on there. So that's good. And if we were to lose that one, we might be looking into possibly 1126. 1126, not as great level. You got just a couple of days on here. 1205 is the big one there. You got some great change in directions happening right at that level. That usually gives that level a lot more weight than the other ones when you have that change in direction. Towards the bottom, some more changing in direction on here as well. right over here at $10. Again, I don't think we'll get there, but who knows? Who knows? This is not good for them this morning. 1.7 million, down 7.5. They're looking pretty good this morning. All right, let's head on over to our moderators watch list. Let's bring this over. Let's fine tune this here, resize all of this, and we'll see what we got going on our moderators lineup this morning. Here we go. All right, as we're doing this, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Highly appreciate it. You guys supporting the channel helps us out a whole bunch. You hitting that thumbs up means a lot to us, so thank you for that. Here is Thornorm IPOs for today. In SPACs, there they are. So if you look into those, and usually Thornorm will be posting those as they open throughout the day. Here's Thor's list. He's looking at NKLA, NEO, JD, and Apple. Secondary list, QCOM, BABA, PayPal, and AMD, CCL. Eamon likes Disca, IBM, PINS. Secondary list, mRNA, Twitter, and Starbucks. John is looking at Facebook, PayPal, mRNA, and NVAX. Probably one of the longest lists that John has done in a while. So a lot of the stuff that he likes to look at is in play today, so that's nice to see. Tiffany's looking at Facebook, TRY, secondary list, Uber, and PayPal. Dima likes VXRT, XPEF, AMD, and Apple. Thornorm is looking at Facebook, PayPal, AMD, secondary list, NKLA, QCOM, and LC this morning. Here's Brian's list, and he'll be trading live alongside Andrew this morning, so make sure you hit that thumbs up to support those guys going live on YouTube. He's looking at NKLA, Uber, QCOM, LC, and CTXS plus gold looking good today this morning as well. Mike's list, Facebook, mRNA, and also QCOM for his style of trading today. So again, good stuff this morning. It's a lot to watch, guys. I mean, our gappers list is flooded with things on here. So again, you guys know this, during days like this, you have to be very, very patient. Just stick to a fine-tuned list. Don't jump around too much. It would drive you crazy. And don't have a huge list, because that doesn't help you at all to stay focused on what's happening. With that said, Peter, I think we're pretty much all set up here.
Sorry, who?
I think we're pretty much all set up here.
No, sorry, I respond to Thornorm.
Oh,
anyways.
yes.
Anyways, yes, thanks a lot, everybody. We really appreciate it. Keep smiling. Remember, trade safe every day. Follow your rules. And we will see you back here tomorrow morning. I will see you later on this afternoon here in the room. Take care, everyone.
Absolutely. I'm just going to stick around a little bit and wait for Brian to log in. And there's Andrew. I see Andrew's logging in now. And Brian should be on shortly. All right, guys. Take care. Trade safe. And I'll see you guys in the chat.
All right.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, YouTube people. I hope everyone is having a better morning than me. Baba is popping up.
It's a good way to start the day.
Good morning, everyone, except those who are not morning right now.
Yeah, not in the. Who's not? It's not morning.
Yeah.
It's not morning somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So you should be able to see my screen just now. Yeah, I should be able to see my screen, guys. Carlos is also sharing a screen, and BBT scanners as well, so you can just select which one you want to have. YouTube people, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let's do some good trades. 4 minutes to the open. Tilray is continuing the pop. I'm potentially looking at Tilray as well. Uber is down. There's a really important nearby level at 43.22. There's another one down here at 43.58. Potential trading on Uber. It's right now above the VWAP, so I'm not sure if the Uber to become a short, but I'll see how it does. QCOM. What's the news on QCOM? Is it an all-time high? No, it can't be all-time high.
No, it's not an all-time high. It was earnings after the hours last night. After the close last night, we had earnings.
LC, Lending Club, is very interesting. I love the daily chart bouncing back right at the this 52-week high of 22. So get it the volume. Nicola, the CEO, is arrested. That's interesting.
That's never good.
A fake
I'm
company
surprised.
with a fake CEO.
I'm surprised it's not down more, actually.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
he really got handcuffs. So
Yeah.
and
That's
Baba
funny.
is popping up. What
Not
about
funny for him.
low garbage stock, COCP, NAOV? NAOV is really active. It was active. So NAOV. This one is a lower prices, a lower float stock. So we got to be careful. NAOV.
Yeah. The arrest was already priced in. They were expecting it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, everybody knows. Yeah, sure. Oh, of course he got arrested. Yeah.
Yeah.
LC. I really like LC, the price range and the volume. If it gets good volume, LC could be a good
Yeah.
open range breakup. Nicola. But keep an eye on NAOV as well. Sure. Careful of this low price stock. I'm really bad at trading them. So if you want to follow me, do the opposite of whatever I do.
Low floats.
Yeah, no float garbage, so to speak.
Kind of liking CTXS for possible rising devil trade. Nicola's just sort of hanging on there right now. I suspect it's going to flush at the open a bit. Is Nicola a meme stock? I don't think it is. Oh, it's got a really high short interest. Okay, good point. Thank you, Thor. Yeah, it probably was already priced in. No, Nicola's got 176,000 in their float, plus it's only says 14%, so that's not that much. All right, guys, we got 30 seconds to the open. I sold some calls yesterday just before the market closed on Facebook. They were 405 calls, so pretty happy about that. Probably cover those.
All right, so
All right, here we go.
NAOV is popping up. See what it does. It's a really good volume in AOV. I don't dare to go long now. AMD is strong.
Yeah, I knew Nicola would flush here a bit. We'll see if it holds.
Tilray is also really going down.
Wow, SPY is like popping like crazy.
I know, I can see that. Tilray is very weak. LC potential opening range breakup. I like LC as well.
Yeah, LC is possible.
Above 23, yeah. Let's wait a little bit, 10 more seconds. See if LC can get the VWAP above 23 potential. Doesn't have much order flow, so that's an issue. Tilray is weak.
Just got long some QCOM, 147.20.
I'm getting some short on Tilray, 16.20. I'm short some Tilray. This NAOV is interesting too. I'm getting some long on NAOV as well. See if you can go toward 290. I'm long 290. Short also Tilray.
And just selling a little bit of QCOM here, 147.60. Oh, there goes Nicola. Nicola's down to pre-market low. See if we can get through. See if we can get to 148 on QCOM. Here we go.
LC popped up. Damn it. Let's see, NAOV is gonna go or not. Probably not.
Come on. 148, waiting at 148 on QCOM. There we go. Filled 148.5.
I'm gonna stop that on NAOV. That's why you never touch these low float stocks. Tilray is gonna go red. That's stick to what you know. Covering some here. AMD is really strong. TNA is strong. What's ARC doing? Yeah, Tilray I'm still short. AMC not much volume. LC doesn't have much volume yet. See, I'm still short Tilray at 1620. Opening range breakdown. Potentially go there.
Waiting at 149 here for QCOM.
SPY is strong. AMD went strong. NAOV is probably going to go to VWAP.
Sold 149.03.
Brian's trading QCOM.
Breaking out really nicely here.
Wow, yeah, that's a really nice opening range breakup.
So I'm down to about 10% of my original size here.
Tilray still down. IWM. Mr. IWM. What are you up to?
Tilray is really leaking off here. I would have thought it would have had some support right around 16, which is where it closed yesterday.
It's possibly might bounce back from here. So, NAOV.
Great move on QCOM. Hopefully some other people got that one. Nice, Marvin. Way to go. Awesome. Good deal, guys.
Nicola.
I'm gonna hold here, see if we can get
AMD,
to 150.
yeah. AMD is very strong. AMD was opened really strong. I just saw that, yeah.
AMD, could this be the day it makes 100?
Yeah, possibly. Very possible on that.
LC has not done anything to speak of. It's literally...
It doesn't have the volume, LC. Look at the order flow on it. I just don't like the order flow. It's just pulsy. I don't like the pulsy order flows.
Peter's stomach's ready.
Covering some more Tilray.
Got your scotch ready? All right. A little early for scotch, even for Ontario, but...
Being a long on AMD at 98.88, just because I want some scotch. Yeah, it's gonna go to, I'm long at 98.88, guys. Oh yeah, look at this beauty. Popped up. 99.93. Yeah, thank Peter. Let's get setting some here.
Yeah, it's gonna go to 100.
100 today, yeah. Yeah. Tilray is still doing some stuff down there. AMC. Yeah. I'm holding this 98.60, some shares to see if you can get to our buddy AMD.
It's got to go to 100.
Oh yeah, beauty. I got a big size on AMD. That's okay. I mean, size is okay in AMD. NAOV, that one destroyed. QCOM was a really nice opening range breakup. ARC is popping higher.
Come on, AMD. Give us
AMD
100.
200.
Come on.
Scotch for breakfast. I do
You
have a
want to
scotch
go
for
there.
breakfast. Let me bring a scotch for breakfast.
You want to go there.
Peter, a scotch for breakfast for you.
No, it's Peter. Peter's well. No, it's 9:30 where Peter is. I guess it's never too early for a good Scotch.
No, never. So there's big ask at 99.50 on AMD. I wish I had a better entry. I saw AMD ripping through VWAP. I wish I was getting a better entry on that. Tilray. How's YouTube people doing? How's your trade? Did you catch a nice move on AMD or Tilray? Tilray. I'm still short on Tilray. Still doing
I
some
knew
good
it.
stuff.
Yeah, AMD. Oh, look at Nvidia's just ripping.
VXRT is
Nvidia's
popping up. That's interesting. VXRT.
Nvidia's
I'm
going
taking
to
long on VXRT, guys, at 9:15. Someone mentioned that
Nvi-
in YouTube. See if
Nvidia's going to
9:15 on
200.
VXRT. Let's see if he can get an opening range breakup on VXRT at 9:10. I'm long on VXRT, so let's see if he can get to 9:26. That's a squeeze.
I wanted to. I was thinking about shorting KWeb at the open. There's too many things to watch today. Uber's popping up here.
Too many things,
I know.
not enough buying power.
Well, too
Hooray.
many. This was one of those mornings again.
Let's see if VXRT can pop. VXRT. Let's see if we get to 9:26. Yeah, I just don't like it actually, to be honest with you. I'm getting out of my VXRT. I don't like the VXRT trade price actually.
I remember trading that in the past. I hated the way it traded.
Yeah, today is just definitely not. I don't like that. I'm still short Tilray. I want to see what the Tilray is doing. AMD, AMD. I'm still long AMD. I still have a lot of shares on AMD. At 97.66.84. That's good. It's gonna go to 100.
It's going to go to 100, yeah. I'm still holding some. I'm out of QCOM. I just had a small size left, so.
What a morning, eh? What a morning.
Yeah. QCOM was great. SPY is just ripping.
Ripping, yeah. AMD to the hundreds. There must be billions of shares at hundreds. What's the ask on AMD? I'm actually very interested to see that. Like, it's not the all-time high. It's not, yeah, it's like billions of shares.
992 is the high. Yeah.
How much Dogecoin has like one? People were selling it, waiting to sell at one. I think AMD is going to be probably the same. That's just the huge wall on that.
What have we got here? Yeah, there's 320,000 shares at 11. 313,000.
Oh yeah, look at this one. This pop up 20 cents above it. Sold some. MC. Tilray still is below. I'm still a little bit short Tilray. I can't believe I'm short in this market. Tilray is still short a little bit. ARK is pretty good too.
Oh, QCOM came ripping back up there. Wow.
AMD. Am I all out on AMD? I am all out on AMD, unfortunately. It seems that I got way too excited.
Hmm.
Peter is doing the scotch. I love that. I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna
Oh
post
yeah,
that.
here we
Peter.
go. Peter.
Good. I'm all out on AMD by mistake, guys.
That's great.
Oh man, I'm gonna post that right now, Peter. Congratulations, Peter.
You gotta love it. Thor trading PayPal. What's it doing? There you go, 100 on AMD. Now the next one is going to be Nvidia. See if it gets to 200 here. It's only $2 away right now. I'm surprised Nikola has not just gone into the tank.
I don't know why this stock is not zero.
I know.
Seriously, how is that
This is
Nikola is not zero?
yeah. This was the one where they were pushing the truck down the hill too, wasn't
Yeah, I know.
it? Wow, dollar's down a lot today. US dollar dropping, oil's up, gold's up. So I think interest rates are up a little bit this morning.
ARK is up. Good. AMD is pulling back.
Yeah, that was kind of predictable after it got through that 100 there.
Yeah, I got out of my AMD by mistake, hotkey mistake, so I'm flat on AMD. I wish I wasn't, but
Yeah. VXRT, you mean? Yeah, I don't like VXRT. I've traded before and I've lost money. What's it
still
doing?
Tilray is leaking.
Tried to get a short on.
Oh no,
on
actually, I'm
Nikola,
still long AMD. Oh, sorry about
but I
that.
think there's
I'm still long AMD. Why you didn't see that in position?
PayPal's popping up here.
How's people on YouTube guys doing? How are you doing? Did you YouTube guys? Did you see Peter's picture? Maybe Carlos, you can just drag it over there and show it to people. NAOV did a really nice fallen angel. That was a really nice fallen angel. I wish I didn't trade it at the morning. So Tilray is still going down. I'm still short Tilray. It might actually leak all day. So I'm just covering some more here on Tilray. IWM, hopefully it doesn't sell off. It keeps the strength. Still, yeah, I'm still swinging my TNA. It's doing pretty good. Tilray, I'm still short. AMD was a really solid 5-minute open range breakup.
Yeah, I had some TNA from yesterday.
LC now is squeezing up. Now LC has a better order flow now.
Yeah, I just took some long here. LC.
Peter, Peter, Peter had some revelation. He thinks he's drunk. Sure you are. At 9:40, without anything in your body, you're just drinking.
No, Peter's had
Okay.
breakfast already, I'm sure.
No, he said he didn't.
Okay.
My ARC is in the money now. That's good.
We're in the money. Come on, my honey.
So Tilray is still leaking, huh? Love it. Covering some Tilray 2 here. Nice, nice Francis Moncayo. Very nice. NRXP is popping up, doing some stuff.
Still long some LC. Thanks. I know Amir pointed that out as well. Just going to sell some here. 23.73.
LC might go to 24, but I don't like. Yeah, it's actually not bad. The volume picked up on LC. What is this
Perfect.
company? Lending Club.
It's a lending club.
This is the people who are poor, the lending each other. The club.
I don't know. Lending club. So is it like the like that PAPE? We call those places where you get advances. They rip you off in the interest. Charge you like 200%. Payday loans. That's it. Thank you. It's Jared. Hey Jared, what did you think of that Facebook trade? Sold those 405 calls. It was a little risky, I have to say. Yeah, exactly. Solid because it worked. Yeah, they're sold them for $1 and they're worth 4 cents now. I'm just thinking about just letting them expire. Yeah, I know. Back at it with the naked calls. Yeah. I figured I was almost going to do the 400s, and then I thought, oh, that's maybe a little too close. If Facebook, but the way things are going with earnings, you really got to knock it out of the park, like AMD, to get a pop. Yeah, well, Facebook what really gave me some confidence was when Twitter reported Facebook made a big move. So I thought,
Facebook was
if
down
anything,
after hours, huh? Facebook was down
yeah, it
after
was
hours.
down. Yeah, it was earnings. I'm just selling some more LC here. I'm not liking the way it's kind of stalling out here.
Very nice trade on Neo, Hojat. Very nice trade and trade. Very nice trade on
Wow.
Neo.
QCOM's going to go to 150. What a big pullback on QCOM. Lost the VWAP. Even lost the VWAP on that pullback. Just wanted to stop me out before it got to 150.
AMD is bouncing back. I still have 2,000 shares of AMD. I thought I got it, but not. Still have Tilray short as well. Down to 3,000 shares of Tilray. Tilray might leak all day, to be honest. Yeah, it might leak all day. So I think there is a moving average here at around 1520. I might cover everything else down there. See what IWM is doing. If IWM can break out, that would be. I'm gonna print money on that. That would be nice. IWM. My average on IWM is at 89 so on TNA, so we're going to be very close. I mean, I'm so close to making
Yeah,
$50 in the month.
IWM's really been, that index has really been stuck in a range.
Yeah.
Um, I ca- it's had a nice move back up into the middle of the range here now.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for LC to see if we can get a pop through 24.
Yeah, IWM is really struggling between 210 and 224. If it break out of this one, then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna print mine. The other account is in the money, but this one I'm just right at. This one is in the money, but the other one is not. Ça va?
Not
Ça va?
liking the way we're not making a move here on LC. I might take the rest of it off here.
Ça va, lui. Ça va got destroyed.
Yeah, I'm taking the rest of LC off here. I'm all out of it. I don't like the way it's not.
No, it wasn't. Even at the open, I didn't like the price action.
Yeah, that was an okay trade. I just, yeah. But yeah, it's just after, you want to see on a pullback, I wanted to see better, a quicker resolution for an ABCD pattern. This thing just seems to be stuck.
Tilray is leaking again.
Yeah, I'm surprised Tilray, the price
I'm actually
action on
surprised
Tilray.
too. I'm actually surprised that it's selling off like that. I
Yeah.
mean, I was expecting a continuation on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, or at the very least, it would hold the yesterday's low.
AMD broke all-time high again. It's really nice.
Yeah, look at VXRT. This is why I don't like to trade it. What a dog's breakfast. It's down, it's up, it's down. It's just a chop fest. Here, back up the garbage truck. Let's throw VXRT in it.
Guys, come here. Man, I was thinking of changing my office to the other room. Is it that bad? Is it bothering you, these garbage trucks? Apparently, this is every day. You gotta get used to it.
No, not at all.
Good. Because I don't want to move this setup, man. It's just a pain to bring it here.
No, it's I don't. Well, for me personally, I don't mind it. I think it's nice background noise.
Yeah, exactly. They just come half an hour into the trading day to collect all of your garbage dog's breakfast that you knew you shouldn't have traded, but you're still trading it. Like this NAOV this morning, I knew I shouldn't trade this, and I just jumped back in there. I get this FOMO. To be honest with you, the reason that I'm trading these low float stocks is the FOMO that I'm getting from social media.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, Russ made $100,000. Oh, I gotta make that too. Why do you watch their recap? Don't even look at other people's trade. Just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Do your own thing. AMD's back through 100. That was pretty predictable.
No, well, don't mention about anyone, guys. Just, no, Ross is a great trader. It's just he's good at what he does. It's just I don't want to.
IWM has been really choppy this morning. ZM popping up on the scanners. Zoom.
Come on, IWM. Break. So Tilray,
wow.
I'm going to cover at 1520. I still have 2,000 shares of AMD. This one.
Holy crap! Look at Zoom go. Look at ZM go. Jeez, it's been a rocket ship from the open. It's going to go to 400 again.
ARC. Come on, TNA. Come on, IWM. Come on, you can go. You can go. Oh, man. If IWM moves like 2%, I can buy a Lamborghini.
Lots of them around town.
Garbage trucks or Lamborghini?
Both.
I really like this UV Lamborghinis. How much are they? They must be really expensive.
What? The SUV
Lamborghinis.
ones? Oh, they're
The
probably
SUV ones.
300,000 Canadian. Just guessing.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. 2K. Is it called the Urus? I can't believe.
I don't know why you'd want
This
it.
is mid-age crisis.
SUV.
Mid-age crisis. Just buying Lamborghini.
I don't know why you. Oh, look at Sava. Sava's really getting hit today. Was there some news on that? Jeez, that's. It was actually
That's
gapping
not-
up. Wow.
Okay, so
Bounced.
see what AMD is doing. AMD would have been an amazing call option. That would have been $1 million trade if you can just
Yeah.
go all in on patients biomarker.
I'm not seeing anything I really want to trade right now. QCOM's kind of choppy. Uber's not doing anything. Nikolai I don't understand. It's back at the VWAP. Tilray is trying to find a bit of a bottom here.
Yeah.
It's gone through the 9 moving average. We'll see if it can hold above that. Oh, maybe they didn't like the trial results for this thing on that they did on Sava.
Okay, handcuffs for me, guys. Handcuffs for me. I just have this AMD. I mean, I don't have a lot of shares left on it, but I mean, I had a really nice run on AMD. Tilray, I'm still nice. Really nice, solid trade on Tilray. Got 1 point out of it. And yeah, I'm not going to touch anything else. I had a bad loss on NAOV, but everything else was really good. Green for the day, really solid. Yeah, LC eventually broke out. That just trades like garbage. Now it's just getting a little bit better, but it trades generally garbage.
I didn't like how long it took to break out there. So I did make some money on LC, but it's just took a while to break into the 24s. Kind of I got Romo on Sava. I almost took that on this reversal here.
Half an hour.
K-Web.
Into
K-Web
the
is the
trade.
one K-Web, I knew it was going to sell off. Jeez.
I knew that.
I knew it. And Baba's the only Chinese stock that's still, Baba just went red too. I was going to say Baba's the only stock that's green, and out of all the ones I watch, JD, Baidu, Billy, K-Web, all red. I knew that yesterday was just a short squeeze.
I knew it.
I knew it. So that was just a technical bounce off a really oversold condition on all of those Chinese stocks. I don't think Chairman Z put on his capitalist underwear last night.
See what AMD doing. AMD seems exhausted.
I'm just looking at Sava, see if we put in a double bottom here.
What a trade. What a trade on the...
Jeez, I don't like the spread on Sava. Yeah, that was a good trade too.
Classic 5-minute opening range breakup.
That's the power of a community. Says some other people can pick up, find opportunities as well. So you have lots of eyes looking at opportunities. So I took a bit of a long on Sava, just for to be part of history. See if it can get back to 110. Just a small size because it's really jerky and the spread is not great.
So how's YouTube people? How are you doing? Serge, beta answer.
Just selling some at 107 here. 107.24 filled. Oh, here we go. Selling. Whoa, 109. Got a good fill there.
Nice.
Wow.
109. It popped up to 109.
Yeah, it just went right to the 9 moving average. Rejected it. That was part of history. Yeah, it's one of my trade books. It's in my trade book. Be part of history.
Spread is jerky on it.
I know that's why I took a very small size. I only took 200 shares. So I'm all out of it right now. But it just looked like it was putting in a bit of a bottom here.
Shami, you should be able to see my screen. You should be able to see my live screen. There are different channels. You can click on the picture on the top right, and you can actually select if you want to see the scanners or if you want to see the Carlos screen or you want to see my screen.
Uber's selling off.
Uber was the earning, huh?
No, Uber was a secondary offering. I think it was SoftBank was selling a big part of their position because they've lost so much money everywhere else. So they were putting out like a secondary offering or something like that. Yeah, huge position dump. Thanks, Thor. Thor, how are you doing, man? How's the eyes? All right.
Lee's grinding up to 24.50. It's just not cool to trade it that much.
Yeah, what Tilray's sort of trying to find a bottom here. It's holding above the 9 moving average. So it's sort of stuck between the 9 and the 20 right now. Not really keen on doing it. Zoom just went. Did Zoom go to? Did Zoom make 100 yet? 400? No.
I might fade Tilray all day because my average is 16.14, so I have a really good entry. I might just leave it to see if it fades all day. And by fading all day means just keeps going down. SPY the all-time high, QQQ almost all-time high, IWM is like a dog. Yeah, that could be 194, and it could be
I was thinking Tilray might be a long here. Let's put in a higher low on this last pullback.
Yeah, it could be possibly. And on a
I don't
short
know. It might
scalp,
just
it could be a long. Yeah.
Yeah, it might just hang around here. It's trying to stay above the 9 moving average. Anyway, I think it might be done going down, possibly. Zoom, if Zoom pulls back to the view app here, it's around 390, it might be a long. We've just lost the 9 moving average on ZM. I'm just watching Zoom here right now.
ZM or ZOOM?
ZM. You want to hit the beach where? Which beach? I was at the beach yesterday.
Let's go to the beach together. I was actually thinking of going to the beach today. Do you want to come to Third Beach?
Oh, that in Stanley Park, you mean?
Yeah. I can't believe that we're arranging a beach time during the market hour. AMD, really holding the 100. It might go back up. Was it a 920 trade? No, it never really did a 920 trade.
Oh, here we go. Zoom, come on down. If it loses 390, comes into that 389 level, I might buy it. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Just bought
Robinhood IPO.
Just long some Zoom here, 389.90.
Brian is doing a 920 trade on Zoom.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, selling some, 390.90. Right off the View app. Boom.
Doesn't have much order flow. I don't like something that doesn't have order flow.
It's the problem with these large dollar stocks. They don't have this nice order flow that say a $15 stock does. Here we go. I'm getting out of the rest of it. That was okay. Got a buck and a bit off it. Yeah, Tilray's just sort of creeping up here. It's above the 20 moving average now.
IWM, yeah, it's going up. I can see it. Can see IWM. Yeah, it's like AMD. Let's see what AMD is doing. We're gonna go to AMD. AMD might be done, to be honest with you. So I'm just getting out of my AMD slowly. I don't think it's gonna do. We get a good $2 move on it. Yeah, I'm all out on AMD. I want to see the moment that my TNA prints. This is the moment that my TNA is going to print. Yes, now I'm green on it finally. I'm green on my TNA now finally.
Finally,
Yes,
eh?
which finally
You just
I
have to
did.
hold long enough.
I told you the diamond hands on TNA. There you go. It's popping up. Oh,
Yeah,
IWM is
IWM
popping.
did that. Yeah, they did that yesterday. Kind of chopped around and then went up.
And
AMD's
look at
breaking.
AMD. Yeah, as
Yeah, I was
soon
gonna
as I got
say.
out, look at AMD.
Yeah, AMD's breaking again.
Look at this AMD. Alrighty, so we're just gonna hold this IWM. Hopefully, it doesn't become a jerk, and goes into this moving average to 25. Diamond hand is diamond hand is the expression that when you're holding a position that is losing, but you're not selling, means your hand is so strong that it's like diamond. You know, diamond, the carbon in diamond is one of the strongest materials, so that's called diamond hand. Like Elon Musk tweeted, Tesla has diamond hands. You should have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
When
Uber's breaking out.
when Bitcoin was selling off, Tesla, Elon Musk tweeted, Tesla has diamond hand. It means that Tesla doesn't sell because Tesla owns a lot of Bitcoin. So.
The problem with that is that nobody knows what he's actually doing.
Pumping and dumping cryptocurrency. That's
He could
exactly
be.
his doing.
You don't know. Yeah. He
11.
clearly thumbs his nose at the SEC. Doesn't care what they think or what he agreed to.
NAOV is popping up. It might go for the break of high of the day. NAOV. It's a shortest squeeze on
Look
it.
at that. AMD's over 101. We should make Peter drink a scotch every time it goes up another $1.
Elon Musk said I might pump, but I don't dump.
That's funny. The drinking game. Mad Max. It's too much coffee.
AMD. As soon as I got out, look at this, just big, huge pop on it. I still had 2,000 shares. I could make another $2,000 on it. Jeez. Oh, markets. Garbage trucks.
Taking out the trash.
They should take me now for selling my AMD. So come on, take me. Put it in.
The great thing is you probably just open your window and throw your garbage out, eh?
Yeah, that's sounds like a really good idea. This time they're serious.
They're taking out the low float garbage.
All right, so I only have Tilray, holding a little bit of Tilray, see if you can fade it all day. AMD, I missed the move on it. It would have been a really, really nice thing. ARC is finally doing a comeback. Catty boot. ARC might
Which one are you in? ARC K? Are you in ARC K or ARC G? Or?
ARC K.
Okay.
How many ARC do you have?
They have ARC. I know they have ARC G, RK.
Yeah, no, I'm in RK. I think I'm in RK. Yeah. Okay. Gordon, you want to squeeze me on Tilray? I have diamond hands.
Ooh, Sava came
must-
ripping back. Wow. Jesus, why didn't I hold that?
ArcX. They have ArcX too. It's ArcX, space exploration.
Hmm. VXRT broke down.
Yeah, I kind of thought the VXRT must be a trap.
Neo making a bit of a move.
NAOV possibly can go to 3. I mean, it looks like it's really squeezing. I don't want to touch it, but yeah, I saw that. The volume picked up on it. It's possible that it might go toward the high of the day again. Well, what I found is I got to be really careful trading them at the open. Usually, this NAOV, these stocks are really sell off at the open. So, thanks, Manfred Arcs. So yeah, these are the ARC. I really like their website. The website is really nice. So ARC Innovation, ARC Tech, Autonomous Technology, Next Generation Internet, Genomics, FinTech Innovation. Oh, interesting. And ARC Space Exploration, Indexed Innovation, 3D Printing ETF, Ezrail Innovation ETF. ETF suits of the year. Their website is really nice. I really like their website, that's for sure. It's very design. Look, this logo is so beautiful. Oh, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I'm done with the day, guys. Just holding and chilling. Do a recap it soon. We have the mentorship session, guys, in half an hour in webinar room. Peter went for a shower to sober up.
To sober up. More coffee.
Oh, this morning, I so wanted to sleep.
How's the walk? Do you walk over in the morning, eh? Or do you have one of those you should get an electric scooter.
Man, I took the car every single day. It's just 2
Well,
minutes
you should
walk.
get it.
I wake up late, man. I wake up late every morning.
Yeah, you should get one of those electric scooters. It'd be great to bomb over to your office in that. It's not a long drive either.
It's the matter of time, man. I need to wake up a little bit earlier. I just wake up and come.
Well, electric scooter would be better because you could ride it right to the front door and then just carry it up. You wouldn't have to worry about parking.
Parking is not a problem at this time of the day.
Well, that's true. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, the mentorship today is for all the elite members, guys. It's not for Peak Capital. That was yesterday.
Yeah, I was thinking of the ones that like wind and what's the other one? Bird. The ones
Bird, yeah.
we were bombing around in in San Diego. Yeah, electric skateboard too. Yeah, Pins. I think Pins is reporting this week, aren't they? Or sometime. Aren't they reporting? Ooh, Pins has had an ugly Flintstone mobile. Yeah, there goes. Yeah, I've seen those too. Those standing with the giant wheels. You see a few of those at Burning Man too. I'm not seeing anything I'm crazy about trading right now.
No,
Tilray's.
except AMT is ripping higher.
Yeah, AMD's continuing to push a bit. Oh, KWeb might be finding a bottom here. Maybe a bit of a higher low here.
What's the ticket for Robinhood? The IPO is today,
Hood.
Huh? Hood? Yeah.
Yeah, HOOD.
HOOD. It's gonna be fun trading it.
Oh, Baba went green again. LAC, I know LAC was. I couldn't figure out why LAC was trading like such a dog on a daily basis. You know, you would think that a company that makes lithium in a world of electric vehicles would trade a little better. It's had it's put 2 good days back to back.
AMD is still ripping higher. Just beautiful. Just beautiful.
So this LC, the only thing.
Sorry,
go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say,
I'm
trying to find some news on LC. All it says is Credit Suisse maintains neutral on lending cub, raises target 28. Am I missing something here? I don't know why it's up so much. I'm just looking on Benzinga. Oh, it had some earnings. Okay. It's funny it didn't show up on Benzinga. Unless it must have been last night. Wow, look at Sava come back. That kind of hurts. I only got a little bit of that move. Ooh! What happened with NVIDIA's popping all of a sudden here? The IWM looks like it's going to break out here.
AWM is going up finally. Haha.
Yeah. Nice. You took the FCX. Yeah, the weak dollars. That the dollar just tanked yesterday. I'm guessing, or I'm thinking that Jared might have talked a little bit about that, but it's really putting a bid under some of these commodity trades, and of course the infrastructure bill that's being moved through the government now. Probably helping. I haven't looked at what X is doing this morning. Yeah, QCOM made had a nice little breakout there. I was happy with that trade, except for the fact that I hated that stupid pullback that stopped me out of the rest of it. X is up $1 today. Yeah, there goes Tilray back to the VWAP. It did find a bit of a bottom there. Bit of a head and shoulders pattern on that, and then get the confirmation with the 9 and the 20 moving averages. Nice little nice little bounce on pins right off the yesterday's low. Wow, yeah, Tesla's up a lot today. I can't believe Nicola's finding some support here. It really hasn't done much. Oh well, XBEV. Yeah, actually, Nicola just keeps hanging in there. Yeah, Nvidia's been. I don't know what happened there. Nvidia just ripped back up to the high of the day. What's high of the day here? High of the day is 198.29. Okay. Neo looks like it wants to break out here. What's K-Web doing? Not much. So about now is a good time to look for 920 trades. Maybe we might get one in QCOM, although the 9 and the 20 were really close together, so not much of a trading opportunity there, unless QCOM comes down to the VWAP, which would be 149. So keep an eye on QCOM. If it drops to 149 here, I'll probably take a long. LC put in a big volume spike there and popped up. And Tilray looks like it wants to try to go green on the day here. Go back green here. Anton, that would be Carlos's screen I believe is the BBT scanners. You want to move the list on the bottom left over. The list on the bottom left. Are you mean the gappers list? Because that's the bottom left. Oh, right. Yeah, I see that. Okay. Uh-oh. And Peter's having a shower. IWM's continuing to push higher here. What's for breakfast? What's for breakfast, Andrew? Obviously, maybe coffee. Coffee and a croissant. Uber's looking like it's going to break out here. I don't trust it at this hour, though. I'm still looking for, primarily I'm looking for a 920 trade right now, but I'm not coming up with one. What's for breakfast?
Yeah, sorry,
What are you
guys.
eating?
Nothing. There was just a chocolate piece that I brought from Peru for the
Chocolate.
office. It was like, yeah, just had some little coffee. I asked Megan to look into Lamborghini lease. I said this TNA is gonna give us the Lamborghini. We'll just have to see. Well, here's the problem: if you get a Lamborghini, then what if you lose your money? There's no way that you can go back. It's either Lamborghini and jail after. That's the thing.
Like the Nikola
I don't know.
CEO.
CEO, there's no way that you can go back. Like imagine in Vancouver, I drive Lamborghini, and then in 2 years, then I can't afford it anymore. It's just gonna be. Yeah. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not into cars. It's just a joke. So my favorite climb was. You mean in Peru? Cardiala Blanca is a mountain ridge. We went to Ichinca Valley, and we climbed 4 peaks there. All of them were nice.
Did you say Tilray's looking like it's going to go green again? So
Yeah, I'm getting it stopped out. I'm getting it stopped out soon in Tilray if it goes. I'm still short actually in it. See what it does.
Here goes NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to go to 200.
NVIDIA 200, AMD still ripping.
Yeah, NVIDIA was looking at AMD and going, you think you're great going to 100. I'm going to 200. Watch me now. The race is on.
Do you think you are?
Yeah, I can do that too. Yeah, NVIDIA's really good, really good company. I mean, their AI technology, apart from their graphics chips. Yeah, NVIDIA or AMD still ripping.
Look at the pandemic, man. $49. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought this move? We're going to do something. I think Carlos and Norm mentioned that in the pre-market that we're going to go have a charity type of thing, we collect donation for charities, and I match whatever the community raises. I think Tiffany introduced a charity that she cares about. We might do that. Do it every month or something. So that would be very interesting to do. Norm is going to let us know about that. And then Traders for a Cause in October, they have a conference on golf that we sponsored last year. We're going to sponsor again this year too. So I might go to Vegas if you sponsor them.
That's in Vegas?
That's in Vegas.
That's in Vegas this year?
Yeah, sorry. 2 years ago, they didn't have it last year. 2 years ago was there, and we sponsored. Last year was virtual. We sponsored, and this year we're gonna sponsor again. All right, so 20 minutes to our mentorship session. But let's do a recap. Then get some rest. And
AMD just went through 102. Amazing.
I know, man.
Just ripping, man.
And I'm ripping higher, yeah. So what are we going to do? So YouTube guys, thank you so much for those of you who have stayed. Thank you so much. We appreciate the like and subscribe to our channel. Especially that, as I mentioned, the reason that we're asking is we just want to grow the channel, and the more engagement and the more, comments, it actually helps the channel in the SEO. So sorry for begging for the likes, but you can help us with just by liking and supporting us. We really appreciate that. The more, the better. I mean, that's how all the algos work. The more engagement that you get into your social media, it just comes up higher and higher, because these companies are essentially the marketing companies, and they want people to get engaged and stay and waste their time. So that's pretty much how they work. So thank you so much for that. And so we're gonna do a quick recap on the chat, and we'll go back to business as usual. So thanks, bye, guys. See you tomorrow morning.
See you guys. Have a good rest of the day. Oh, and yeah, smash that like button.